there's silver ions being converted to silver metal that's coating the inside of that test tube. Okay, and that's a test for aldehydes. All right. The last one is the iodoform test. This one tests for methyl ketones or secondary alcohols. Okay, so you should have a good idea of what should react with what. All right. So on pages, there's 3 pages. There's no lab notebook today. There's just worksheets. So 41, 42, and 43, those pages, you have those 3 worksheets that you're going to fill in today. Okay. Now this is not due today. It's not due till next week when you come back in. But these 3 worksheets you'll see part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. All right. So in the first one you have cyclopentanone, benzaldehyde, and benzophenone. All right. Those are the 3 compounds that you're going to test with the DMP. All right. All the reagents are either in this hood, that hood, or this hood over here. These 3 hoods have all the reagents that you need. All right. And you'll see underneath the names of the reagents, you see where it says a square, a little box that says positive or negative. Well, if there's a reaction, if there's some evidence of a chemical reaction, we say, okay, well that's a positive test. Was there a color change? Did a precipitate form? Did it warm up? Did gas evolve out of the reaction? Those are all signs of chemical changes.
Do I have to do like sometimes like 2?
Yeah, if there's more than one if there's more than one piece of evidence that there's a chemical change, you have your observations. You have to make conclusions. Okay, well, this is what I saw, so this was probably a positive test. A precipitate formed and it turned from red to green. That's probably a good indication that a chemical reaction took place. That's a positive test. Okay, so for all of them, some of them they all might react, some of them none of them might react. Okay, so you have to either tell me positive or negative, and then if it was positive, why? What happened? What were the observations that made you think there was a chemical reaction? Okay. And then you'll see under that, it asks, okay, complete the following reaction for any one of the positive reactions above. Well, if you saw that one of these reacted with that test, well, just take the structure of that compound, and you're going to have to react it. This is the actual DMP molecule. Take whatever positive test here, you draw that structure in, and what's the product of that? And you can get those answers right out of the introduction for this experiment. Okay, so you'll do that for all of these. Like I said, these reactions, they're not due today. You can just do your observations and your test today, and you can fill in the rest. You have till next week. Okay, this is not due till next week. If you finish it today and you answer all the questions, you can turn it in. That's fine, no problem. Now the only change that we're going to have, if you go to part 4, the iodoform test here, this is the only change that we're going to have. All right. Now this test takes a little while, so what I'm going to ask each bench to do is somebody go ahead and just set up a water bath on each bench. So that way you guys all use the same water bath because you're just going to put the test tube in it for about 15 minutes or so. Okay, so not everybody has to make a water bath. Just make one group make a community water bath for everybody. You have to have it to 60 to 70 degrees, and that's why there's thermometers up here. There should be a hot plate on each side. And go ahead and somebody get your 600 milliliter beaker, fill it halfway with water, and set up a hot water bath. You need it to be between 60 and 70, and it'll just be a community bath for everybody. Okay?
What beaker size?
The big one, the 600 or whatever it is, the big one, so that everybody can put their test tube in. Okay. Now the only change in the iodoform, you'll see that the 3 reagents that they have here, it says 2-heptanone, 4-heptanone, and sec-butyl alcohol. Well, we're not going to use 2 or 4-heptanone. We're going to omit those 2, but what we are going to use is 3-heptanone. So 3-heptanone and sec-butyl alcohol. Now, not all of the groups, so you guys, since the iodoform test does take a little while, each group is just going to test one of those. So I'm going to go along right now to each group and assign which reagent you should use. And then the group that's next to you, you get their results for their reaction, and then you give them your results for your reaction. Okay? So, starting right here, you guys will use.
I thought they were layers like at first.
You guys will use sec-butyl alcohol. This is for the iodoform test. Okay?
They basically were.
And then you guys, Alejandro, you guys use 3-heptanone.
They threw us the
You guys sec-butyl alcohol.
so they had to
You
make sure
guys
everybody had
3-heptanone.
everything they needed.
Sec-butyl alcohol. 3-heptanone, sec-butyl alcohol. You guys over here, 3-heptanone,
But exactly.
and then you guys, sec-butyl alcohol.
Sec-butyl.
For the iodoform test. And then just get the results from your neighboring partner, from your neighboring group. Okay?
What'd you
For
say?
the other reaction.
What's the last one? For the
Now,
iodoform
another
test.
couple of notes also, DMP, whoever in the group is handling the DMP, that everything's in droppers. There's gloves over here. When you're gonna handle the DMP or the chromic acid, put some gloves on your hands because both of those are bad for you, okay? The chromic acid has chromium, which is a known carcinogen, causes cancer, okay? So wear gloves when you handle the DMP and wear gloves when you handle the chromic acid. Now, unless you drink some of it, you'll be okay, okay? Just don't taste any of it.